Welcome to Trout Towns, the show where I take you to some of the best towns across America for trout fishing. Each episode, we'll travel to a new town to fish two specific trout streams, from freestone to limestone to tailwater and everything in between. We'll also highlight some of the great American history as well as architecture illustrated by the towns which we visit. All that and more today on Trout Towns.
On this episode of Trout Towns, we're in Coudersport, Pennsylvania, your gateway to fly fishing the forested northern tier of PA. From historically significant rivers meandering through gentle agricultural valleys to Class A trout streams surrounded by vast public lands. Our first stop on this trip will be to the Upper Allegheny River. Well known for its history in commerce and navigation hundreds of miles downstream, in and around Coudersport, this is an excellent medium-sized freestone trout stream, brimming with stocked and wild fish. Next up, we'll check out one of the dozens of small-sized runs within easy driving distance of Coudersport, with a robust population of wild brown and native brook trout, all surrounded by the remote and rugged Susquehannock State Forest. While in town, we'll then explore Coudersport's rich historical past, with highlights including a significant lumber boom, participating in the Underground Railroad, and a devastating fire. Coudersport has captivating history around every Victorian corner. We'll also highlight some of Coudersport's well-maintained historic architecture, with an impressively intact Victorian historic district. Styles range from Greek Revival, Italianate, and Queen Anne, just to name a few. Please join me today as we fish, explore, and embrace our very next trout town in Coudersport, Pennsylvania. Coudersport is a borough in and the county seat of Potter County, Pennsylvania. Potter County was formed from part of Lycoming County on March 26, 1804, and Coudersport has served as the county seat since 1835. Coudersport lies in a broad valley at the confluence of the Allegheny River and Mill Creek. It is surrounded by the great hilltop plateau of the Allegheny Highlands. Coudersport has a rich history, particularly as a boomtown during the lumber industry's peak. Initially settled in 1807, it was incorporated in 1848. The town was named after Jean Samuel Couder, a banker who funded land purchases for the Ceres Land Company. Coudersport's location on the Allegheny River and at the confluence of Mill Creek with surrounding mountains limited early settlement. Now, let's take a brief look at some highlights from Coudersport's rich history. The lumbering era in and around the Coudersport area ran from approximately 1815 to the early 1900s. Coudersport became a major lumber center, with white pine and hemlock logs and shingles floated down the Allegheny River. Sawmills were built in the 1880s, further fueling the boom. In addition, this area was important regarding the history of the Underground Railroad. Coudersport had at least two Underground Railroad way stations, with Quakers, led by Francis King, known for their assistance to escaping slaves. Fire, which afflicted many towns primarily made of wood, also directly affected Coudersport. A major fire in 1880 that destroyed much of the commercial district led to the implementation of a building code requiring brick construction. Another interesting piece of history from Coudersport is the Coudersport Consistory. The Scottish Rite Freemasons constructed the nation's largest consistory in Coudersport in 1889, a landmark that still stands today. Coudersport's consistory has one of the largest per capita memberships of any Scottish Rite consistory. As far as railroads, the Coudersport and Port Allegheny Railroad, which played a significant role in the town's growth, began construction on a new station in 1899 and opened in 1900. The station was listed on the National Register of Historic Places in 1976 and now serves as a police station and borough government office. As with most relatively remote American towns primarily reliant on resource extraction, Coudersport did experience a period of decline, but also, more encouragingly, preservation. Namely, as the lumber industry declined, Coudersport's population and economy also declined, but many historic structures were, fortunately, preserved. Another interesting historical tidbit about Coudersport is that it was the home of untouchable Eliot Ness at the time of his death. Ness was an American prohibition agent known for his efforts to bring down Al Capone while enforcing prohibition in Chicago. He was leader of a team of law enforcement agents nicknamed the Untouchables, handpicked for their incorruptibility. Ness, with his wife and son, were living in the Brocklebank home from 1956 to 1957. Ness died there from a heart attack in May 1957. Contemporarily called a gem of Pennsylvania's wilderness, Coudersport offers vistas of natural and man-made beauty worthy of any history lover or outdoor adventurer. The town depicts a vivid cross-section of economics and politics in the Victorian era. Designated as a boomtown, Coudersport's striking brick Victorian architecture of the 1880s is still completely intact, frozen in the style of its heyday. In addition to its picturesque, preserved historic district, travelers with an interest in history can find much to occupy them in the Potter County Historical Society Museum. and the Pennsylvania Lumber Museum. For those wanting to embrace the natural wonders of the region, Cherry Springs State Park provides exceptional conditions for viewing the skies above, displaying more than 10,000 stars on some nights. Several other state parks in the area include Old Bull State Park, Cinemahoning State Park, and Sizersville State Park, which all provide ample opportunities for camping, hiking, boating, swimming, and, of course, fishing. Now, with that brief history provided, let's go give the Upper Allegheny River the old college try. So maybe 10 or 15 minutes downstream of Coudersport, we are looking at the upper Allegheny River. So most people know the Allegheny River, at least for trout fishing in Pennsylvania, below the, I believe it's the Kinzua Dam, right around Warren, Pennsylvania. But up in and around Coudersport, as you can see, the Allegheny River is at least in here, medium-sized freestone trout stream. From what I read, it should have some stockfish, maybe even some wild browns as well. We are in between Coudersport and Roulette, Pennsylvania. Probably, I don't know, 8 or 9 miles downstream from Coudersport. The plan today, this is as far as we're going to come down. We're going to work our way up to Coudersport, go above Coudersport where it's a much smaller stream, and see what we can do as far as catching trout. This water looks okay in here, a little bit kind of slow and meandering, but we're gonna run and gun all day. I assume it's gonna be mostly stockfish, maybe some wild browns in the mix as well. Water levels are a little bit elevated, not too high, not too off-colored, but certainly elevated to some extent. Anyways, let's get out here, start fishing. Never fished this section of the upper Allegheny River, the same Allegheny River that meets up with the Monongahela down in Pittsburgh. This is the same Allegheny River that was very important in American history for, you know, industry, commerce, navigation, etc. Anyways, just saw a fish rise over there. Unfortunately, I have nymphs on right now, so may have to switch to some dries. Anyways, let's get out here and see what happens. Just got a fish. Oh, there he is. Hit the very small Parachute Adams. Looks like a feisty rainbow. That is wonderful, because I do have a couple of those small Parachute Adams. Try to get him over here, not lose him like a freaking loser, am I right, guys? Stocked rainbow. Colors look pretty good on him, though. Using a 8'6" 4-weight, as I normally do. I always feel undergunned sometimes. I always feel undergunned sometimes. What kind of stupid saying is that? This one is feisty as heck. Heck yeah, brother. That's a good looking fish. Heck yeah, brother. Hopefully we don't freaking lose him though, like a loser. Got him. All right, so that is a good looking, really, for a stalker, excellent looking, probably holdover rainbow. So let's get the hook at him and take a freaking look at him. That's great. As far as stalkers go, pretty nice. Pretty nice. Probably about 13 inches, maybe a holdover. Let's get him right out of here. Nice fish. Nice fish. Let's get him out of here. Got him. Got him. Rainbow. Rainbow. Feels pretty good. Can't really move him. Probably just a regular stock stalker, but looks pretty good. Hit the small Parachute Adams. Oh.
A lot of vigor. Got him. All right, so another gorgeous, fat, eating really well, stocked rainbow trout. Let's get the hook at him, take a look at him. That's great. All right, so we got an incredibly plump, healthy, stocked rainbow trout. Don't really like holding stockers. It's a weird thing I have, but we're gonna try our best on this one. He is quite feisty, quite plump. Let's take a look at him just in case he gets away from me. Really plump, eating very well, clearly. Really nice fish, really nice fish. Let's get him out of here. See you later, bud. See you later. All right, so we made a move upstream, maybe just like a mile and a half. We're actually getting pretty close to Coudersport. There's not a ton of bridges that cross the road, a lot of private property, but we are gonna make do. Haven't seen any fish rise in a little bit, so I switched to a 2 nymph combo with a small black woolly bugger on bottom and a flashy pheasant tail a little bit above, probably 12-14 inches above, and we're just gonna see what happens. We're just gonna see what happens. Just got a fish. Oh man, that really warms our heart. That's a wild brown. That's a little wild brown. Hold on, bud, hold on. Oh, that's so great to see, especially below Coudersport. That's so great to see. I didn't think I'd see wild browns until we got above Coudersport. Nice little, probably 5-inch wild brown. Beautiful little fish. Hit a pheasant tail. Little flashy pheasant tail. Hold on, bud, hold on. We'll get you right out of here. Get out of here, bud. Get out of here. Just got a fish. He's running. Haven't gotten a good look at him yet. Don't know if it's a stocked rainbow, wild brown. Doesn't feel too big. Pulling a little drag. Ooh, probably a stocked rainbow based on the size. I don't know how big wild browns get in here. I assume mostly small wild browns. Hit the black woolly bugger. That'll be a, can't tell yet. Can't tell yet. Oh, that's a brown. That's a brown. Can't tell if that's a wild guy. Oh yeah, that's a nice wild brown. Wow, that's like a 9-10 inch thick, healthy wild brown. I stand corrected. Not all small in here. All right, so let's get the hook at him and take a freaking look at him. This is a solid wild brown, probably 9-10 inches. Beautiful colors, adipose fin, etc. Let's get him right out of here. See you later, bud. Got him. Got him. Hit the tan drake. I want to say it's a tan drake. Not sure what kind of fish this is. Looks like a wild brown, if I had to guess. If we can land him. Oh no, that's a brook trout. Must be a stocked brook trout. Definitely a stalker. Oh, got him. All right, so that's a chunky stalker. Looks pretty good for a stalker, all things considered. All right, let's get the hook at him. Take a freaking look at him. That's great. That's great. So this is one of the better looking stocked brook trout I've ever seen. Really, really good looking fish. No problems with the fins. I mean, if I didn't know any better, I would say this is a native brook trout. I know it's not. I'm not that bold to say that, but it's a wonderful looking brook trout for a stalker. Very healthy. Hold on, bud. Hold on. We'll get you out of here. Hold on. Hold on. Beautiful looking brook trout. Nice colors on him too. Let's get him right out of here. See you later, bud. See you later. All right, so we just got an unexpected, high quality stocked brook trout. There are still fish sipping right up here, and they seem to like this drake I'm throwing. I think it's like a tan, maybe a tan drake, you could call it. Some would call it that, some wouldn't. That's what we're going with. Yeah, they're just sipping on some scissor. We'll cut that out. Ooh, got him. Got him. That's a bow. That's a bow. I didn't mention it before, but we did get a trout slam. Brown trout, brook trout, and rainbow trout. All in the same stream. No big deal. No big deal. No big deal. Got him. All right, let's get the hook at him and take a look at him. Got a stocked rainbow trout here. Don't really like touching stocked rainbows. That's okay. We're gonna get him right out of here. Nice fish. Oh! All right, well, you saw him. Got him. Got him. All right, so let's get the hook at him and take a freaking look at another stock rainbow. That's okay. That's okay. Another stalker. Let's get him right out of here. Not a bad little fish. Pretty fat. Recently stocked, probably 10, 11 inches. We're trying to get you out of here, bud. If you could just help us out here. These fish are so feisty. Not a bad fish. Not a bad fish. Let's get him out of here. Let's get him out of here. Got him. Got him. They're hitting this tan drake pretty hard. Probably another stock rainbow, who knows? Feels pretty good, all things considered. Another rainbow. We'd love to see more wild browns, but we'll take the stock rainbows. Oh, holy cannoli. Oh, nope. Almost had him. Almost had him. There we go. All right, that's a freaking plumper. So, again, you know, hoping for some wild browns, but that's okay. Let's get the hook at him and take a look at him. This one's probably 12, 13 inches. Really healthy. Definitely eating good. Let's get you right out of here, bud. Hold on. Beautiful fish, beautiful fish. Let's get him right out of here. See you later, bud. All right, so we've worked our way all the way up to, if you can see it ahead of me, where it channelizes, presumably for flood control, through downtown historic Coudersport. So it looks like there's actually a really neat little pool right in front of us. We're gonna fish that just for a smidge, and then for a very small amount of time, maybe an hour or two, we are gonna go above Coudersport. The stream should be, if I had to guess, probably less than half of this size. It has a significant tributary, I think Mill Creek, which dumps in right in downtown Coudersport. So we're gonna fish here just for a second, right before it channelizes through town. And then we are gonna go up above Coudersport and fish the Upper Allegheny River, where it's a relatively small freestone stream. All right, so after a brief interlude of rain, we just made our way up above Coudersport, back on the Allegheny River. You can see the channelized kind of culvert section begins right there. And we're gonna be shooting upstream. The water in here is probably, I don't know, half the size of what it looks like leaving Coudersport. A major tributary dumps into the Allegheny in Coudersport itself. So it's pretty tight in here. I know it gets brushier and more difficult to cast anyways. We do have rain, more rain coming in the next hour or two, so we're really only gonna fish up here for an hour or two. So if I could pick off, honestly, one or two more trout, hopefully some wild browns, we can wrap it up here on this river in Coudersport. So anyways, let me start fishing. We're gonna throw out dries and we'll just see what happens. Just got a fish above Coudersport. I think it's a rainbow. Looking for some wild browns, that's okay. Oh, hold on, bud, hold on. Got him. All right, yeah, small stock rainbow, that's okay. Great colors on this fish. Let's get the hook out of him. Take a look at him, that's great. As soon as we got the hook out of him, he popped out of the net, but it was a probably 10-inch stocked rainbow. That's quite disappointing, but we do still have more riffles here to fish, so maybe we can get another one. All right, so with the rain picking up and the stream narrowing, a lot of brush on either side, let's quick wrap up for the day. So we're on the Upper Allegheny River, mostly below, a little bit above Coudersport. Managed to catch mostly stock fish, stock rainbow, got a couple wild browns in the mix, and even a stocked brook trout. So we did get a trout slam. Anyways, really impressed by the Upper Allegheny, having never fished here. But with that said, after a long day, let's head back to Coudersport.
The Coudersport Historic District is a historic district in Coudersport, Pennsylvania, the county seat of Potter County, which encompasses 73 contributing buildings. Coudersport is in a narrow valley on the Allegheny River and was a boom town when the lumber industry cut the white pine and eastern hemlock in the forests in the county, leading to economic prosperity and the beautiful Victorian buildings preserved through to today. John Keating of the Ceres Land Company donated lands for many of the county's public buildings. Wood was the favored building material until a major fire in 1880 destroyed much of the frame commercial district, inspiring an early building code that required brick construction for future buildings. Much of the borough's Victorian-era architecture stems from this time when the lumber was exhausted by the late 19th and early 20th centuries, and although the borough declined in population and economically, an extensive effort was made to preserve many of these historic structures. The district is centered on Courthouse Square, and notable buildings include the Park United Methodist Church, built in 1893, the Presbyterian Church, built in 1902, and the Episcopal Church, built in 1883, as well as Old Hickory Tavern and the Coudersport Consistory Complex. The Potter County Courthouse is the primary government building of Potter County and was added to the National Register of Historic Places on February 24, 1975. The courthouse is a Greek revival structure with some Victorian elements blended into it. The Potter County Courthouse was designed by William Bell of Warren County, with construction beginning in 1851 and being completed in 1853. In 1888, the roof of the courthouse was altered, leading to controversy over the squandering of tax money on a relatively new courthouse. The courthouse was also renovated by the Civil Works Administration in the winter of 1933 to 1934. Next up, we have the Coudersport and Port Allegheny Railroad Station, which is built of red brick and local sandstone. The walls are made with a course of sandstone 3 feet tall at the base, with the rest brick. Also, there are 2 brick chimneys on either end of the central section. A fine example of woodworking skill is the Gothic Revival House or Old Hickory Tavern, built in 1852 by local carpenter Miles White. The 2 1/2 story steeply pitched roof structure features wide bracketed eaves, looping barge boards, and a central chimney. Also, here we have the Coudersport Consistory. The westernmost section of this institution was originally the home of a prominent individual named Isaac Benson, originally built in 1888, with later additions being made over time. His Victorian chateau was constructed with brick and laden with sawn wood gingerbread, latticework, and bracketing, as well as towers, bays, and steep roofed lines. Lastly, Adelphia Communications, a national telecommunications company, was located in Coudersport until it downsized and moved to Colorado. The company's lavish 4-story red brick former headquarters building with a marble columned entrance, mansard roof, and elongated round-arched windows was designed in 2001. In addition to the historic core, there are many other historic homes scattered throughout downtown, which include styles such as Greek Revival, Italianate, and Queen Anne. Now, if you'll indulge me for just a few moments, we'll go on an architectural walking tour of Coudersport, Pennsylvania. And then, I promise, we'll get back to catching some nice trout.
right, so just a little bit south from Coudersport, you have access to what's known as the PA Wilds. This is a section of, you know, woods and forests and wilderness. I think it's something like 2 million plus acres, primarily state forest, but also some state parks, some state game lands. Really, really wonderful in north central Pennsylvania. Anyways, about 20-25 minutes south of Coudersport, we are now surrounded by, I believe, Susquehannock State Forest. We have this beautiful freestone tributary stream. There should be some wild brown trout and I think also some native brookies, so a nice mix in here. As you can see, the water flows are almost perfect. I mean, this is really sweet for, you know, late spring, early summer. Temperatures today are like 70s. It's pretty perfect. There's bugs all over. I've already seen fish rise. So we're gonna start out just throwing out a parachute Adams. If someone fished through this section, this is a small enough stream that would really ruin my day. But if not, I have a feeling, and I very rarely have this feeling, but I have a feeling we're gonna freaking crush today. So anyways, we're gonna be throwing dries. I don't think we're gonna nymph it all today. It's not worth it up here. Beautiful day. So happy to be back in the PA Wilds, the north central PA State Forest. They're just so lovely. But anyways, 25 minutes south of Coudersport. Let's get out here and see what happens. Just got a fish. I think it was a wild brown. Doesn't feel too big. I've only fished this stream one other time, so I don't really know. I think we're gonna get, you know, maybe 10-inch browns, 8-inch brooks for the biggest. We'll see. Ooh, yeah, it's a brown. That's a brown town. That's a brown town. Got him. All right, so let's get the hook out. I'm kind of a medium small guy. That's okay. Beautiful stream bred brown trout, probably about 7-8 inches. Real nice. Let's get him right out of here. See you later, bud. See you later. This type of stream is by far my favorite stream to fish, like in the whole, pretty much in the whole world. Small size, north central PA, surrounded by state forest, brook and brown trout. You just can't beat it. You just can't beat it. Water levels are, I actually thought they'd be a little higher, but perfect for fishing. We already got a bunch of bites. We're looking for trout number 2. Great cast. Great cast. Really nice little deep stretch right over there. Of course, there's some type of evergreen tree right in front of it. It's going to be very challenging to get it where I want it. It's also rattlesnake season, for lack of a better word. That's not quite the cast we wanted. Not quite the cast we wanted. Oh, that's it right there. That's a dandy cast. Oh, got him. Oh, wild brown just went airborne for it, and we missed him like a freaking loser. Oh, that's a crusher. That's a crusher. Oh, great cast. Great cast. Oh, nope, was a great cast. Now it's thinking on its own. The fly has a mind of its own. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Right on the money. Right on the money. Come on. Nope. I don't think that fish is going to come out again. Try one more castaroo. Not bad. Not bad. Right on the money. Right on the money. And nothing. Just got a fish. Not sure what it is yet. Not sure what it is yet. Looks like a little wild brown. Little wild brown? Yep, little wild brown. Beautiful colors on the little guys. We love seeing the different age classes. Let's get him right out of here. Hooked him right in the corner of the mouth, real expertly. See you later, bud. See you later. Just got a fish. Feels pretty good for this stream. Not anything huge, but probably like 8-9 inches. Can't really move them a lot. Feels good. Yeah, nothing huge, but for today, not bad. Let's get him over here. That's a brown. That's a wild brown. Oh, I'll try to get him in the net. Oh, got him. All right, so yeah, that's a solid, probably 8-9 inch wild brown. We will certainly take it. That's great. Let's get the hook at him, take a look at him. Great fish. Great fish for this stream. Got a lot of vigor. We like vigor. Hold on, bud. Hold on. We'll get you out of here. Hold on. Beautiful fish. Absolutely gorgeous. Hands are sopping wet, guys. Just for the record. Let's get him out of here. Got him. Got him. Ah, popped off. Son of a gun. Well, we had one. You saw it, right? Ooh, got him. Hopefully this one doesn't pop off. Doesn't seem too bad. Just a little teeny tiner. We like teeny tiners here. Nice to catch a bug just flew up my nose. Be nice to catch a brook trout. I don't think this is one. This is a wild brown, little wild brown. Not even gonna net this one, folks. Just gonna get this hook out of him real ethically. See you later, bud. Got him. Got him. Nice fish. Nice brown. Probably the nicest of the day. That's sick. Yeah, he's fighting. Probably a 10-incher. Definitely the nicest of the day. Oh, that's so great. If I can land him. Yeah, it's a good fish for this stream. If we can land him. Yeah, actually a little smaller than I thought, but yeah, good 8-9 incher. Very similar to the other big guy we got. Anyways, let's get the hook at him. Take a look at him. That's so great for me. Excellent fish for this stream. Solid 9. Yeah, we'll call him 9 inch. Let's get him right out of here. See you later, bud. See you later. Just got a fish. Feels okay. Haven't seen him yet. Oh, is that a rainbow? That's a little rainbow. Okay, so that's either, we're gonna have to investigate this. That's either a stalker or is this a surprise wild rainbow? Wow, that rainbow looks pretty good. All right, so you tell me, but I guess this is just a small stalker, but it looks so good. Looks so good. Yeah, that's definitely a small stalker. That's okay. Must have swam up from a section. I know this section they don't stock at all, but they do stock further down. That's a good looking rainbow though, so let's get him out of here. Don't really like touching stalkers. It's a weird thing I have. Anyways, that's great. We got 2 different kinds of trout on the board. If we can catch a brookie, we'll get a nice little trout slam. That's great. That's great. I'm going over this really neat footbridge here. Very cool, very cool. Look at that, that's great. Just got a fish. Don't want to lose him. Feels pretty good, not bad. I think it's a wild brown. I'm hoping as we get further and further upstream, there will be more native brook trout. Oh, hold on. As I live and breathe. Beautiful brook trout. That's actually a pretty good one. Should probably net him. We're not going to. That's a nice, probably 5-6 inch native brook trout. He's probably gonna pop off here. We did touch him, so it does count. Could net him. We're not. Hold on, bud. Hold on. Beautiful brookie. That's a trout slam. That's all 3 types of trout species in here. That's freaking great. That's a solid 6-inch native brookie. Maybe 7, maybe it's a keeper, I don't know. Probably about 5, 6. Let's get him out of here. See you later, bud. All right, just got what feels like an actually really nice fish. Not huge, but still nice. Or he's just fighting really hard in the current. Yeah, it's not that big. He slapped it though. Looks like a nice brown. Oh no, that's a decent brookie. Holy cannoli. Yeah, that's a sick brookie. Hopefully we don't lose him. Yeah, that's a nice brook. It's like an 8-inch brook trout, if I had to guess. Oh, maybe not that big. Probably about 6, 7-inch brookie. Still real sick, real sick. He slapped it. Oh, that's so great. That really warms our hearts, guys. So let's get the hook at him. Take a freaking look at him. Gorgeous native brook trout. He actually had a hook in him, which looked like from a worm. We got that out too, just because we're so ethical here on this channel. So pretty much just saved this brookie's life by catching him with a parachute Adams. I'm not looking for praise, guys, but you know, whatever. Trying to get him out of here. Hold on, bud. Beautiful brookie. Absolutely stunning colors. Probably 6, 7 inches. Let's say 6. Let's get him out of here. Woo! Saved his life. That's great. Got what feels like a pretty nice brown. It's pulling a little drag. Again, hit the parachute Adams, which is great. Yeah, it's not a bad brown. Got him. All right, so probably not the biggest of the day, not the smallest. Probably a solid like 7 or 8-inch wild brown. That's great. That's great. Let's get him right out of here. Little guy. Little guy. Probably not gonna net him. Little wild brown. Not that little. Not a teeny tiner, guys. Let's quick take a look at him. Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. That's not bad. We're gonna need our pliers to get this guy out of here, but that's nice. Just got a fish. Doesn't feel bad. Doesn't feel huge either. Can't tell if it's a brook or a brown yet. Ooh, that's a brook. That's a brook. Yep, that's a nice little 4-inch brook trout. Let's get the hook at him, take a look at him. All right, solid 4 or 5-inch brook trout. That's great. Let's get him right out of here. All right, so let's quick wrap up for today. Just 20-25 minutes south of Coudersport. We are surrounded by the beautiful Susquehannock State Forest, and we've been fishing this relatively small freestone stream quite successfully. I think we managed to catch 10, 11, 12 trout overall, something like that. Nothing big. I think the biggest might have been 9 or 10 inches, mostly wild browns, some native brook trout mixed in, and even that shocker stalker rainbow, because they don't really stock up in this more wild, remote section. Anyways, had a wonderful time. There's so many streams within very close driving distance from Coudersport, especially if you go south down into the PA wilds. I really love it up here in north central Pennsylvania. These small streams, really my favorite. Anyways, I think that's all we got from this stream.
From all of us here at Trout Towns, and by all of us, I sadly just mean myself, we'd like to thank you for watching today's episode. If you have any other trout towns you'd like me to visit, please drop me a comment in the comments section of this video. Also, if you enjoyed this video and would like to see me visit other trout towns across this great country, please consider subscribing to the Traveling Trout Co channel to give my life meaning. Also, go ahead and tap that like button. Just give it a tap. Trout Towns, brought to you by Traveling Trout Co, a company that's not really a company in any meaningful or significant way. Stay trouty, folks.